All I've got to do is replay excerpts of the speeches from last night at the convention. That's how good it was. Last night was awesome. It was over the top. You know what? There's so many great things about last night. The class, the obvious class of a Condoleezza Rice is something just as simple that doesn't need to be even really pointed out. It speaks for itself. The contrast, the class, the refinement, the seriousness, the sophistication. The Paul Ryan did something last night that I think is just fabulous. He made Obama seem old. He spoke of Obama in the past tense. And that gave an air of confidence to the whole thing. And I think that was one of the feelings that people got watching the convention last night, was confidence. There was great leadership on display last night, a great illustration of the depth of the Republican, the conservative bench. Man, it was a Reagan-esque night last night, folks. It's really an upper. It was fabulous. It's great to have you here. Broadcast Excellence, hosted by me, L. Rushbaugh, 800-282-2882, and the email address, lrushbaugh@eibnet.com. How about some of these lines from Paul Ryan? I mean, these are things that you and I believe, we say to ourselves and our friends, and we have for years. But to hear it, I'll tell you what, the Democrats have been knocked off stride and off balance. They don't know how to deal with this. And they don't know how to deal with Paul Ryan. He defies caricature. He's not mean. He's not old. He's not cranky. He's not evil. He is clean and pure as the wind-driven snow. You can't corrupt the guy. You can't. This is not some guy's going to push his grandmother off the cliff. This is a guy who gets a tear in his eye while giving a speech, talking about his mom and his dad and her single, her small business she started at age 50. So many, terrific thing. Condoleezza Rice was, everybody making a big deal about the fact her speech was not on a prompter. She gives that speech frequently. In fact, I think that's the speech that she gave at a Romney retreat, which got everybody suggesting she would be great on the ticket as vice president. We had great definition of American exceptionalism. We had a great presentation of the fact the United States is the solution to the world's problems, that the world depends on a free and growing, thriving United States. That convention last night, I'm sitting there watching it, and things I'm wishing people would say, that I would say if I were there. I would have added some ideology to it, but I'm not complaining. Just sharing with you my reaction to it. One of the things that I was thinking of, you know how I know it's good, if I may be so bold? And I think this probably might be true of you, too. You know something's good when you want to be part of it. And I wanted to be part of that last night. And so I'm sitting there, we're sitting there, and I'm thinking, okay, if I were part of this tonight, what would I be saying? And there's not much I would add. I think one of the things that was said without being said was, we don't view this country as guilty. We don't view this country as the problem in the world. We do not think this country needs to be cut down to size. We don't think. There were every speaker last night, every one of them talked about something that's so quintessentially American that it's been forgotten. And it's being pummeled and criticized by the Democrats. And every speaker spoke about what the American dream was to them. And without exception, you know what it was? It was nobody's born into a certain class that you're doomed and destined to remain in for the rest of your life.